Be talking about a few very interesting things that I saw from this weekend that you're going to want to keep an eye on. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So we're going to start off over here with Saga of the Dragon Emperor. Now, for those of you that have no idea what this card is, it is from Maze of Memories, and it is a rare. Alright, so it's only available one printing, and it's basically, as of filming this, 4 cents. Now, this lets you target a dragon monster you control. I wonder who a dragon monster is that would make us be curious enough to play this. Its attack becomes doubled until the end of this turn. Oh, wow, okay. Then if your opponent currently controls a dragon monster, the activation of the targeted monster's effects cannot be negated for the rest of this turn. Oh, okay. And then during the main phase, banish this from your graveyard and special summon a dragon exceed monster is banished or in your graveyard in defense position. And you can only use one Saga of the Dragon Emperor per turn and only once that turn. Well, first of all, we don't give a crap about that secondary effect. You're telling me that Tenpai Dragons out here have a quick play spell card that goes, hey, I'll go ahead and double the attack points of any dragon monster that is literally on my field, and then if you have a dragon monster on your field, aka we're just playing a nice casual mirror match out here, my dragon can't be negated. That's actually kind of interesting. I actually saw this show up in a Tenpai Dragon build out of the course of Sneak Peek Weekend. I was like, really? You know, I didn't even realize Saga of the Dragon Emperor existed, and I wanted to put this on the table and go, hey, you know, this could be a very cool tech choice that if you're trying to explore these, the world of Tenpai Dragons out here, and you want another method of doubling a monster's attack points besides, doing Trident Dragneon stuff, you have a 4-cent rare that you're able to mess around with out here and try. That's freaking cool to me. And also, the new Galaxy support coming, you get to support off some of the cool stuff with that art. Then Tyrant's Tirade. Oh, we're back to this. So if you remember me talking about Tyrant's Tirade a very, very long time ago, we saw that the OCG was starting to pick this card up as a tech choice. And guess what? We're back at the same point now. The OCG's been starting to pick this back up as a tech choice, but it's tribute to face-up monsters you control. Neither player can activate the effects of effect monsters that activate on the field or in the hand. So how in the world are we making this work? It's called Runic. Alright, now the reason why Runic's doing this is, how do you get 2 Runic monsters on the field? Sleipnir. Sleipnir, so basically what you'll end up doing is you'll basically set up Sleipnir, and then you'll be like, alright, cool, during your draw phase we'll make the token, then we can Tyrant's Tirade both of those monsters away. You get to clear up your extra deck monster zone. That way you can Hugin up again, and then you have your protection loaded up with the Tyrant's Tirade with a walking, talking skill drain, so your opponent can't do anything. Actually, this card is much more devastating than skill drain, personally, because they cannot even make an attempt to activate them. The fact that this card says neither player can make an effort to activate things, I think is the craziest thing about this. Now, the reason why I bring this up today, one, it has applications in the current TCG now that we've kind of gotten to this point. The OCG has been playing this for a little while, and they're in Tenpai Dragon Purgatory, and the card has actually been moving pretty quickly in terms of sales, and that's the biggest thing that I wanted to mention here is as these things kind of start to move and more people are like, oh my gosh, I need to pick this up, got to pay attention to it. All right, the Runic duelist out here, they're well aware of this card. They've been aware of Tyrant's Tirade for a very long time. All right, the card is extremely good at what it needs to do for these things, and it only has one printing all the way back to Storm of Ragnarok. Yu-Gi-Oh! You love to see it. I gotta talk about Extranet here for a second. So you've got all of this hype out here. Everybody's like, Circuit Breaker, whatever the field spell was. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, this card's so expensive. Well, I wanted to present a better alternative, in my opinion, and it's called Extranet. Extranet gives basically this nice little skill on a field. So it says, if a monster is a special summon from the extra deck, the opponent of the player that conducted the special summon can apply this effect. Draw a card. Now, for those of you that don't know, and you're out here like, oh, we're gonna Circuit Breaker up, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play Metaverse to do this. Well, why not play Extranet and get some resources instead of trying to cheesingly end the end phase out here. I know that like trying to cut your opponent off is seeming like a pretty good idea, and I can understand, you know, the things you're trying to do. You're like, oh, you know, this is perfect. But, you know, forcing your opponent into a situation where if they continue to link climb, you're going to continue to get these free draw cards is actually, in my opinion, kind of worth it. You know, your opponent's going to have to put a stop to the Extranet, or, you know, force themselves to go into an SP Little Knight to basically out the Extranet, or you're going to get too much advantage. The card's purpose is to draw attention away from, you know, some of the craziness that's kind of going on. And also, I played against Extranet the other day, and my opponent got to draw like 4 cards. So it did not feel good. Genuinely, this is the card has no sales data, like hardly at all. I think 2 have sold. So if you're wanting to just try this out as like a one of, it's 25 cents. All right, cheap, good utility option, especially if you're running over to get a Saga the Dragon Emperor, just so you can play it in Tenpai Dragons. Grab an Extranet while you're there. You know, have the ability to knit yourself some free draw power if you need to. Now, I gotta talk about the Speed Duel Secret Rares. And on the screen here, you do see the little baby Cerosaurus. We have kind of gotten to the point with some of these select Secret Rares that their price points are actually kind of insane. I didn't realize how stupid some of these price tags have been on these cards. And genuinely, like, you're looking at like a Fossil Diner for 10, you're looking at a Miracle Fusion for 12, a Sakuretsu for 10. You're looking at the cost of these cards hitting these crazy expectation numbers out here that if you want any of this Speed Duel stuff, I highly recommend that you pick this stuff up before it's too late, because for whatever reason out here, these cards seem to love to be in the $10 range, and they're going to continue to be in that higher range of things as well, because people, one, don't want to run out and open up the Speed Duel stuff, and two, to the stores that did open them up, you know, and they did get their value out of them, you know, they've been disappearing off of the market. You do have a select niche audience for this stuff. And I do continue to say that. As much as I personally don't really care about Speed Duels, I understand why it's an important product, why it is able to change up the dueling experience out here and give you the chance just to have a little bit of fun, all right? I know, the words fun and Yu-Gi-Oh! They don't really go together on the top end of the competitive scene. I get it, but pay attention to all of the old secret rares and things that are currently available out here on the secondary market, because they have the steadiest increases of value notching up as each and every day go by. You might blink, and the next day, you might be staring at something being $14, $15 when it was formerly $10. All right, the invisible hand is doing its job, and it's going to continue to do it. Genuinely is kind of crazy. Now, I also want to talk about Raging Phoenix out here. To the people that are looking to pick up Tenpai Dragons, and you're like, well, you know, I've got to pick up a Trident Dragion, this is an issue. Well, I have bad news for you. Most of the Tenpai Dragon decks I saw out of this initial weekend were starting to play Raging Phoenix, Promethean Princess, Hida. The fire utility box. Yes, our favorite. All of these fire cards that, you know, the standard Pyro toolbox decks were playing, you know, the Snake Eyes variants, they're being played in Tenpai Dragons now, which means not only do you need a Trident Dragion for those good results, you're also going to need a Raging Phoenix, a Hida, a Promethean Princess, the way it's starting to look on the early side of things. Great. That's just what you want to hear. Spending more money on more utility options. Now, it's based on early tournament result data. We'll have to wait and see if that sticks around, but I just wanted to be the bearer of bad news out here and go, well, crap. Tenpai Dragon builds are starting to head towards more of the fire utility box and the Link monster selection. Guess we're going to have to start to focus on these and see what we can actually mess around with out here. And trust me, more utility options typically wins you more matchups. You're really paying for those options to ensure that, you know, you can get yourself out of a certain situation. And it's very unfortunate, but that's how Yu-Gi-Oh! Tends to work right now. Pay to win, utility options, yay! So, what do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I know there's a lot to these today, but genuinely, I'm impressed with how the market's going. You guys have a good rest of your day, alright? Patrons! Thank you. Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.